glad to hear I'm so powerful.
Excellent. Great. Okay, the Magino project. I'll review this data, although I know most of you in this room are profoundly aware of the project and where it's located, but you can see where we are 45 kilometers north of the town of Wawa, Ontario. As you're also mostly aware, this is a past-producing underground mine operated between 1988 and 1992, producing 105,000 ounces of gold. There's a lot of significance in this. Number one, our proposed development project is taking place in the footprint of this previous mining operation. In other words, this is a classic brownfield environment. In fact, the district itself is active. Directly next door to us, Richmont Mines has their Island Gold underground mine in operation, 50,000 ounces a year. Because of these facts, when we talk about our development project, we can look right at the infrastructure question that often dogs many other projects. We have excellent road access right to the project, a rail line only 3 kilometers away. We have power to the project. In fact, we will be moving power lines to build our open pit. Quite the contrast to a number of other development projects that are taking place in North America. We also have the advantage of being directly accessible to a workforce. Between Wawa, White River, Dubreuilville, you're looking at over 10,000 people living within a 50-kilometer radius of our project. An able workforce able to come to the mine without the need for a large camp development. Our land package is 100% owned, almost 92 square kilometers now in the district, and we have been the leader in land consolidation in this district. Tetra Tech is leading our pre-feasibility study and our permitting process. You can see some of their clients, Sabina, Yamana, Eldorado, Pretium. This is a company that has a global reputation for producing high-quality pre-feasibility documents. With this excellent infrastructure and road access, coupled with the geopolitical stability of mining-friendly Ontario, it does start to distinguish our project from a lot of the other development projects you see, not just in North America, but globally. And the impact of infrastructure actually cannot be emphasized more. I think many of you saw the very recent update done by Detour Gold regarding their project. They're $1.1 billion into a $1.5 billion development project. It's approximately twice the size of what we're proposing for Magino. But when you look at those costs, $140 million for a power line, $50 million to bring in road access, capitalizing and pre-stripping, you see that this idea of infrastructure actually has a large impact on a project's projected capital expenditures, and that's where we really see it on our bottom line and plan on taking advantage of as we go to our pre-feasibility phase. So the resource estimate, again, this came out just 3 weeks ago. You'll note that this is pit constrained. We selected a 0.35 gram per ton cutoff to report this because this is the exact same cutoff grade that was used in our previous 2 resource estimates. We want to make sure investors can compare directly, apples to apples, oranges to oranges, what the resource has done. One very nice aspect of this is the previous 2 resource estimates were done by Snowden. This was done entirely by Tetra Tech. So what has happened essentially is the file, the data, has been handed over to a new group of geologists and engineers who have gone in and created their own model, separate from what Snowden did. The net result, essentially the same deposit in terms of grade. Of course it's grown because we completed 70,000 meters of infill drilling, but it affirms the earlier work and basically leaves us with a 6 million ounce pool of gold within which we can now hand that to our engineering team and say, what is the best mine design? What's the best economic outcome for putting a mine into this project? And as we go through that, we start looking at ways we can optimize our project and come up with a mine plan that makes sense. By presenting all the data here with a range of cutoff grades, we can start to see some optionality in this resource. If we look at, for example, the 0.5 or 0.6 gram cutoff, we see that the average grade of the deposit comes up markedly from the grade of 0.35 grams. But we're still looking at a 4.5 to 5 million ounce deposit. And given the fact that throughout these cutoff grades, 95% of the resources in the indicated category, we have a lot of confidence in this resource as well. So just to put in perspective, what is our asset? How does it compare globally to other deposits? There's been a recent study by Natural Resources Holding, NRH, just came out in July of this year, where they went and examined all the plus 1 million ounce gold deposits that are out there globally, whether they're in the hands of junior juniors, majors in production or in development. And there's over 470 of those. Interestingly though, there's only 41 that are over 500,000 ounces in size, and Magino would rank 33rd in those. And these are the ones in the hands of the independent juniors. In other words, the ones that are available for development or potentially for acquisition by others. When you filter that down to North America, you're down to only 19 plus 5 million ounce deposits, of which Magino ranks about 15th in size. Interestingly, out of those 19, there are only 3 with higher average grade than Magino. So you start to see that we have a relatively a special deposit compared to the others. And when you look at those 19, you'll see that a lot of them have some real interesting challenges related to grade, metallurgy, location, infrastructure, etc. Finally, I find it's very fascinating that there's 200 plus million ounce deposits globally available for development, whether in the hands of juniors or the majors. The average grade of those deposits in this study was 0.66 grams per ton. Magino's average grade is over 35% higher than that. So I think when we look at our asset, we realize we have something that's very special. It's of a good size, it's the right size, it's of a good grade, and in terms of its ability to be developed because of its location, its geometry, we believe that Magino represents one of the better development opportunities in North America, if not globally. So a quick examination of the mine, and this is a long section that was just created yesterday by the engineering group, and I know it's a bit busy, but I think that's kind of the important point here. If you look at the material that is in the green, orange, red, and magenta, that's everything that's above 0.5 grams, the kind of higher grade portion of the deposit. And I'll note that at the 0.35 gram resource grade, the strip